Downing Street that Mr. Churchill had pneumonia. The great fleet of battleships, cruisers, carriers, destroyers and transports was the largest yet assembled in the Pacific War. The force under the command of Rear Admiral Hill and Major General Smith of the U.S. Marines was headed for Tarawa in the Gilbert Islands. These pictures of the battle were taken by U.S. Navy photographers and Don Sennick of Movietone. The proceedings opened with a heavy bombardment by land-based and carrier-based aircraft and savage pounding by the fleet's guns. A 1,000 tons of bombs, 1,500 tons of naval shells, that was the sensational opening. It proved to be one of the bloodiest engagements of the war. When the United States Marines closed the beachhead at Betio, the central fortification of the Tarawa atoll, they found it well protected and desperately defended. Here was the critical phase of this bold ocean-hopping exploit. While battles still raged in New Guinea and on Bougainville, the Marines were landing here on Tarawa, far away to the northwest, well on the sea route to Wake Island or Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. Pearl Harbor, but what a difference here in the Gilberts, where the defenders were fully prepared. Anyway, this was no smash and away again attack. This was invasion. Invasion against fierce opposition. But the Marines held on to their minute strip of beachhead and with continued support from air and sea, inched their way forward under deadly fire, through the wire, into and over bomb-proof dugouts. Over 1,000 Marines were killed, 2,500 wounded in the 76 hours of battle. But 6,000 Japanese were wiped out by the air-sea bombardments and by the Marines after they landed and got in among the enemy, killing them in savage hand-to-hand combat. By then, Tarawa was a shambles. Fortifications smashed, guns out of action. Some of these guns, by the way, were British weapons taken at Singapore. Korean laborers, specially imported by the Japanese, made up all but a small number of the prisoners taken. They look absolutely stunned, but no doubt they were glad enough to be freed from the brutalities of Japanese control. The capture of Tarawa clinched the American occupation of the Gilbert Group, and when the terrific battle had been won, not a moment was lost in consolidating. The airfield was at once fully repaired. Repairs were actually begun before fighting ended. With great rapidity, Tarawa was turned into an effective airbase against the enemy, and a jeep full of Marines made a dash across the field to welcome the first American plane to land, a fighter piloted by Ensign Kelly. A bloody battle, Tarawa, but a victory of first-rate strategic importance. And for the United States Marines, more glory added to a glorious tradition.